What the hell is this? What the hell is that? Oh my god, how do I shoot my gun? These are the first thoughts that you're gonna have when you hop into Cogmind, a traditional top-down roguelike created by Josh Gee. In Cogmind, you play as a robot in a quest of sorts to either overthrow, hassle the hell out of, or escape from the mega computer that's controlling many of the electronic components of the world that you now exist in. This includes all of the robots handling the environment. In fact, Cogmind takes place inside of a living world where robots have jobs and goals, and each robo-homie comes together to create a robotic ecosystem that you explore. In this ecosystem, you are an unaccounted for variable. You can sneak your way around the scouts and mercenaries to make your way higher and closer to the surface, or you can take a different approach and blast the hell out of any robot that so much as looks at you funny and then cannibalize their remains to better yourself. Yeah, you heard me right. You use the parts from robots that you blast to bits as new parts for yourself, replacing old, broken laser guns and armor. Thanks to how Cogmind is set up, you can either play it casually and just choose pieces of gear with a higher rating stat, or you can read into each of the bajillion stats that parts have and choose pieces that focus your build. Before Cogmind, Josh had already made a handful of other roguelikes, all aimed at growing and evolving the genre while staying true to form. His work on XATCOM, a fan remake of XCOM UFO Defense, as well as a few other projects, are decently known throughout communities of hardcore roguelike players. In 2013, he finally set out to work on Cogmind full-time. There's quite a compelling story behind the evolution of Cogmind itself, which you can read on a post that Josh made on the game forums, linked down in the description. Now, released in a playable alpha state, Cogmind is showing not only Josh's dedication to the traditional roguelike form, but his persistence to make a great game and listen to the players. Cogmind starts you out deep within the rooms and caverns that the constantly expanding robotic ecosystem has created, and gives you a basic tutorial that covers enough of the bases to get you in gear and rolling on. What the game doesn't do, however, is hold your hand. After the tutorial, you are just set loose to play as you will. Cogmind is built in such a way that you can either play it very casually, just picking up whatever parts have less damage and a higher rating stat, or you can make specific builds by paying specific attention to individual stats of each and every part you pick up, and equip ones that gear you in a certain direction. Naturally, as you play, you'll figure out some of the nuance that goes into the game, realize what enemies are weak to what, which movement pieces you prefer, yada yada. But Cogmind allows for the hardest core of players to analyze parts and figure out what kind of build they want to shoot for on any given run. And players with more knowledge may be able to prepare for later stages better than players who simply compare their gear based on the rating stat. There are various stations scattered around for a variety of purposes. Terminals to get data, scanners to get schematics for parts, 3D printers to build parts at, and repair stations to repair. And those are just a few. To use these stations, however, you've gotta hack them. Thankfully, hacking is as simple as just using the station and performing actions, but if the machine figures out that you're hacking, then you'll get locked out and denied further use of that specific station. Actions at a station have a success percentage. When you select an action, you'll either succeed and get whatever you were hoping to get out of it, or you'll fail and a trace will progress. Once that trace is at 100%, you're locked out. It's possible that enemies get more active in a hunt for you the more you fail, but I haven't been able to confirm this. Cogmine's UI is gorgeous. It stays in theme with the rest of the game while making it easy enough to figure out the basics. There are keys set to display certain information on the map, like labels for parts or robots, and you can switch between a tile-set view of the game to an ASCII version, which the developer himself prefers. Lastly, there's a very rich lore to the whole game. Everything that exists has a purpose and a story behind it, and as you explore and take optional paths on your way to the surface, you'll uncover more and more details to piece together the mystery of what's going on. There are a lot of details on this that I don't have time to go into during this video, so check out the page on the game website linked in the description. With plans to add more maps, items, and even music, Cogmind is quickly becoming a very impressive and modern take on the roguelike genre. If you're a fan of hardcore, deep gameplay and the ASCII fests of old, then Cogmind is something that you should definitely sink your gears into. That's all for this episode of Indie Bytes. Thanks for joining. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Be sure to check out our website, pixelattack.net, for more articles and videos that I've done, as well as what others have done. If you're interested in seeing a more casual side of stuff that I do, check out my personal YouTube channel linked in the description. And lastly, if you have any indie games that I should check out for Indie Bytes, leave a comment below or shoot me a message on Twitter. My handle's @ForkH. That's all. Bye-bye.
For the love of games!